Welcome to Xinhua Special. You know, spring is in the air, and that means that China's busiest political season is just around the corner.
That's right. Known as the Two Sessions, the political gatherings of China's top legislature and top advisory body will be held here in Beijing. One of the locations is at the Great Hall of the People, not far from here. What do you know about these meetings?
Well, I know that thousands of deputies from all over the country come here to discuss issues concerning China.
That's right. And the issues are raised and collected often at people's congresses at the local level, and they form the basis of proposals deputies bring to the Two Sessions.
So that means that everybody's voice can be heard.
Right, and sometimes you know that foreigners who live here can also have their say too.
I actually do know that because I know foreigners who are very involved in their local communities.
And one guy who lives in Shanghai is so good at giving advice and suggestions, the municipal government even gave him an award.
An award? Let's take a look.
Noyan Rona is from Turkey, and he lived in Shanghai for 26 years.
如果你生活一个区一个城市，如果你关心这个城市的发展，或者你关心你周边的发生的事情，你不得不想，那想了以后，你不得不提出一些建议。为什么呢？因为为了要把你自己的周围、周边和你的城市更加美好。
On weekdays, Rona is a banker. On weekends, he is a volunteer, an enthusiastic participant in local affairs. Rona even has a Chinese nickname, 啄木鸟, which means the woodpecker. Because he's keen to offer opinions, he has won many accolades for his contributions. His most recent award was from the Shanghai municipal government for his suggestions.
我没有一个很具体的统计，我有多少建议，但是我估计大大小小的大概有100左右吧。我这个最难忘的建议呢是有几个，一个是那个个人所得税的建议，这个是已经被采纳了，这个是当然我很高兴了。
When approached about a draft revision to the individual income tax law in 2018, Rona suggested adding the word accumulated before the individual tax residency threshold of 183 days in a tax year. To make the rule more explicit, the suggestion was adopted.
我的意思是，老百姓提出建议的人来讲，有这么一个渠道，这是最好的办法，最好的动力。
In a melting pot like Shanghai, the Hongqiao subdistrict stands out for its vibrant international community. Residents here hail from more than 50 countries and regions.
Well, Sylvia, I'm really wondering, how is it possible for people to make suggestions?
Well, take Hongqiao for example. There are different ways. People can visit the local civic center where a lot of brainstorming takes place. Or residents can drop letters to the designated red mail boxes. Sort of like this one here.
Looks good. There must be many of these, and actually it makes it easier for everybody to participate.
Right.
On the first floor of the Gubei Civic Center is one of the community-level contact stations set up by the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress. Draft laws are sent down here so that ordinary citizens can discuss and have their opinions heard by lawmakers. Since the establishment of the contact station in 2015, 62 draft laws, including foreign investment law, have been discussed here in Hongqiao, and 101 opinions incorporated, including Rona's suggestion about individual income tax law.
You know, Sylvia, I find it so interesting that the residents of Hongqiao, regardless of their nationality, have a part that they can play in the local community management and also the national level legislative process.
Right, the practice in Hongqiao is very successful, and actually President Xi Jinping, during an inspection tour to the civic center there, made the remark that people's democracy is a type of whole process democracy.
On November 2nd, 2019, President Xi visited Gubei Civic Center while a consultation meeting on a draft law was being underway. Xi talked to both the Chinese and foreign residents attending the meeting. On July 1st, 2021, at a grand ceremony to celebrate the CPC centenary, President Xi stressed the party's commitment to whole process people's democracy.
For Zhu Guoping, a national lawmaker and a grassroots official in Hongqiao Subdistrict, community-level democratic practices are a pillar of China's whole process people's democracy. Zhu was present when Xi visited Hongqiao in 2019.
我和总书记握手的时候呢，总书记给我握手的和我说，就是基层很重要，就是拜托我们基层的干部把工作做得更好一点，让老百姓更满意一点，真正让老百姓有幸福感。
As a national lawmaker, Zhu has the office of Zhu Guoping set up right at the entrance of a residential block.
现在这个选择也选得好，特别就选择在马路边上。马路边上呢，就是老百姓走来走去，能找到我们。有什么事情，有高兴的事情和我聊聊，有不开心的事情给我聊聊。
This year, Zhu will be attending the NPC annual session in Beijing. She will put forward suggestions on how to assess long-term care insurance for the elderly and tackle internet addiction among children.
因为这个建议呢，来自于我平常我们在交流学习当中都听到的，也是大家都担心的事情。
Well, the residents of Hongqiao seem to me to be real change makers. Sylvia, what do you think?
It seems to me that the more proposals that are adopted, the more people will follow suit and get involved, creating a virtuous circle. You can tell the system not only works, but works pretty well.
Well said. To me, it seems like the staff are really committed and hardworking, and they've created the backbone for the existing mechanism.
After all, people matter the most, which means you get the right people for the job, listen to people's needs, and deliver results.
Simply put, the idea of whole process people's democracy as put forward by President Xi is that public affairs are run by the people and public decisions are built upon consensus informed by discussion and consultation. Currently in China, about 2.6 million people, including Zhu, are serving as deputies to people's congresses at all levels nationwide. Among them, those at county and township levels accounted for about 94% of the total. Deputies above the county level are elected by those at the next lower level, while deputies at county and township levels are directly elected by voters. Making full use of their close connections with the people, these deputies diligently fulfill their duties by soliciting and submitting the people's suggestions and advice through various forums and channels. Compared with legislators in the West who make politics their career and usually have a staff and campaign team, NPC deputies are part-time from all walks of life, and many of them are ordinary citizens. Besides the NPC, the other important platform for ordinary people to be heard is the CPPCC, a mechanism for multi-party cooperation and political consultation with members of China's 8 other political parties, along with celebrities, experts, and scholars specializing in various fields. From protecting workers' rights in the food delivery and car-hailing industries to alleviating the pressure of excessive schoolwork and off-campus tutoring, from solving the financing difficulties of SMEs to protecting the ecology of the Yellow River, are among the more than 4,300 pieces of advice from NPC deputies and political advisors adopted by relevant departments of the central government and over 1,600 policy measures subsequently introduced. What is unique to the Chinese system is the level of engagement with the people that these decisions will affect.
In the West, there was a shift, and the shift is unfortunate because the democratic process, the system, regardless of the fact that it's a two-party system, because both parties are doing it, are really to the point where they've allowed the government to serve primarily the wealthy class and the corporate class, and even the military, not the rest of society. And that is the root of the problems that we see in the West.
In this system of governance, Chinese leaders can hear what matters most to the people and in turn respond promptly and effectively.
我国社会主义民主是维护人民根本利益的最广泛、最真实、最管用的民主。